is 6'4".
Welcome to Dummies on the Hardwood, and Durag Benny's back.
Durag Betty is in full effect. Team, come on, you already know what it is. You already know how it do.
We apologize in advance for any hot takes or cold takes or controversial takes or any mention of Kylie Jenner this man may have. The Durag is on too tight.
Durag is in full effect.
That blood ain't circulating to the brain.
You guys don't know what's gonna come out next, so y'all better be careful. I'm just saying. Whether it be hot or whether it be cold.
That's always cold.
You don't know what it's gonna be until we start talking. We're gonna start yapping. Let's start yapping. What are we talking about, Isaac?
All right, we're recording this as Game 2 of the NBA Finals just ended. The Thunder absolutely destroyed the Pacers to make the series a 1-1 series. Thoughts?
I knew this was gonna happen, bro. I knew this was gonna happen. I told you earlier.
The Durag.
The Durag is in full effect. What did I say? I knew this was gonna happen. Game 1 was an outlier game. The Thunder should have taken that game, right? We already knew the Thunder should have taken that game. However, Game 2, I saw.
How was Game 1 an outlier game?
Because the Thunder had the game. The Thunder really had the game in the last minute or so, but they damn near screwed it up by throwing the ball around.
They did screw it up. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, that's what they damn near screwed up. Yeah, they let Andrew Nembhard hit a three to make it.
Shout out to Nembhard.
Yeah,
he's the MVP of Game 1.
Cold-blooded player.
Yeah, man. I think he's more of a dog than Haliburton. I think we since we on this topic, about Game 2, Tyrese Haliburton didn't show up. Obviously, we want to talk about his Game 1.
I want to go back to Game 1 because we look at Game 1 and I'm just like, I don't think it was an outlier game per se.
Yeah, it was.
It was a game in which the Thunder.
How was it an outlier?
It was an outlier. That's what I'm saying. The Thunder should have won.
Well, when
hold on. Let me talk to him really quick.
Go ahead, because I'm about to lose.
Do you realize how
you
many
talking about,
leads the Pacers were down? I would understand if it's one. It's been multiple times the Pacers have been down. Okay, that's all I had to say. Continue.
Pacers came back from 20 points and they won. It's not an outlier game. It's not. Pacers just went out there and won the game. That's the bottom line. Now,
Thunder should have won the game, but okay.
They should have, but
they should have, but they didn't.
That's
they didn't win. Okay,
they didn't win. So,
oh my God.
Man, that Durag's way too tight on your head, bro.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That is way
That
too
game
talking
was not
about,
an
bro. That's not an
outlier.
outlier game.
No, it was
Yes,
not.
The Thunder played for 40 minutes. They played 40 minutes of Thunder basketball, and the last half of the fourth quarter, they just fumbled the game. That's not an outlier.
Let's be honest.
Yeah,
I mentioned earlier in the season, my problem with the Thunder, they don't have a legit second option. Jalen Williams is like a good third option when he shows up.
Exactly.
And what was the problem in that fourth quarter?
No one showed up.
No one could hit a damn shot besides SGA, who was trying to get fouls, and they did not call it.
And Chet Holmgren had only 6 points.
Well,
on 2 of 9 shooting.
Let me ask y'all this.
Yes, Durag, sir.
Do the Thunder play like this often?
No.
Exactly my point.
Okay.
Exactly
No,
my
okay.
point.
But the Thunder had a 20-point lead.
I know they had a 20-point lead.
You know who also had a 20-point lead? The Boston Celtics. And did they get the job finished?
No.
So was that an outlier game?
Was that an outlier?
Yeah.
The Knicks ended up in the conference finals. Was that an outlier?
Oh my God! See, this is what happens, man. See, we got salty. We got salty.
We're
fans
not
out there,
salty.
Bro.
We're just telling you.
Bro,
You want to be like
Knicks,
you
bro.
want to be
You brought
outlier?
the Celtics,
I would
bro.
understand if it was one game out of like the
One
whole
game was an
entire
outlier, bro. That was an outlier game. Come on, I don't know what you're talking
That was
about.
not an outlier
What are
game.
you talking
That
about?
was not an
So the
outlier
Knicks,
game.
those two games that you guys were up 20 were both outliers.
Yeah, that's.
Are
a
you
damn
sure
near
about
outlier.
that?
Yeah, that's an outlier, bro.
That's an outlier game.
We damn near should have won.
So it's an outlier.
Game one was more of an
You should've
outlier
won.
game.
You should have won. Did you win?
No, we didn't win.
Okay,
bro.
then.
Bro,
Check all
it's
that
in the
out.
past,
It's not
bro.
an outlier.
Bro, it's over.
It's not an outlier.
It's over. Why are we comparing that? Bro, why are we comparing
Because
two
I'm giving
series
you an
ago, bro?
example.
Use your terms properly, bro.
Man, that's like two series ago, bro. Come on, bro. Are we talking about the Pacers or are we talking about the Celtics?
But yet, the Knicks were down 2 games, and he never once mentioned an outlier.
But that
for
was an
them.
outlier, right, Isaac?
It was.
It was an
According
outlier.
to him, so was the Pacers win.
That's the Durag logic.
That's Durag logic. That's Durag logic, team. Come on now, man. We got 2 people out here getting pressed over something I said.
So was
bro.
this Pacer game? So was this Pacer
Y'all
game an
pressed.
outlier? Was this Pacer
Which
game an
game you talking
outlier?
about? No, the Pacers aren't as good as the Thunder. They've never been that good as the
We're
Thunder,
not
bro.
saying they're not as good as the Thunder, but
Yeah.
The Thunder should have won this game technically, but did the Pacers roll down and just give it to them?
No,
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so it wasn't an outlier.
Whatever.
They didn't jack up shots and get fouled,
Whatever.
right? They went to the basket.
All right, whatever. All right, go proceed with your point. Come on. Proceed with your point. Proceed with your guys'
Someone has their
point.
booty do-rag on too tight tonight.
Way too tight,
It
man.
ain't tight. It's fitted
You
perfectly.
got too many dead brain cells
It's
up in
fitted
there, bro.
perfectly. I don't know what you guys talking
and
about.
your do-rag logic.
Come on, say it right.
How you don't say your statements right about the Pacers? So explain
Well, why
them.
are we
Explain
talking-
them.
Hey, according to
Explain
you, it's an
how it's an
outlier.
outlier. Explain it. Justify it, please.
Wait,
please.
Outlier for what? Explain.
You know
You're
what
the
we're
one who
talking
said it.
about. You know what we're talking about. You said
Rephrase
that
the damn
game.
question.
You said that game was an outlier
Game one was an outlier.
Yeah.
Okay,
yes,
how?
it was an outlier.
It was an outlier game.
How?
You guys answered my question earlier. I asked, do the Thunder play like that often? What'd
No.
you say? What'd you say?
Okay.
But
What
they
you
said
said?
they played like the Thunder in the
Give me
first
the
half.
answer.
Okay.
Give me
They
the
played,
question.
Isaac, didn't they play like the Thunder in the first half?
But the thing is,
Yeah.
there's 48 minutes
To
of
a
basketball.
game.
I agree.
Not 40.
I agree.
Not 44.
I
not
agree.
46.
I
40
agree.
And so that was not an
I agree.
outlier game. The
I
Thunder
agree.
were playing Thunder basketball the entire game, and
The
then
Pac-
they fumbled it, and the Pacers came back.
The Pacers
It's
not
an
just
outlier game.
decide-
How you how's that not an outlier? I don't know what y'all thinking, bro. I don't know what they're talking about, bro. That's an outlier game. Thunder should have been up 2-0. I don't know what. I really don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm just saying that's an outlier game, right? Thunder should be up 2-0.
Your logic makes no sense. They should have won. Did they win?
No, they
Did
didn't.
they make shots?
They
Who
didn't
made a-
win.
Okay.
So
what's the
did
series?
the Thunder.
What's the series?
So did
It's
the Thunder.
1-1.
So,
Okay,
so,
thank
so,
you.
So let's do this. Did the Thunder play like the Thunder basketball in Game 1?
Yeah, they did.
Okay, so it's not an outlier then, right?
Yeah, but they blew it in the last minutes.
So it's not an outlier.
Yeah,
You heard that right? Isaac?
No.
Yeah,
He
said-
just
what
admitted
y'all
it.
doing?
You got
He said it was an
You got
outlier.
it.
That's what I thought.
You just admitted
That
it.
was an outlier. Come on, man.
Y'all don't make a bit of sense,
You
bro.
don't make a bit of sense.
You don't make a
bro.
bit of sense, bro. You guys don't make a bit of sense. Y'all got nothing to do but bag on me, bro.
We're not bagging.
Bang on
Yeah,
you.
bro.
You call the Pacers an outlier.
Yeah,
You
bro.
called-
Because I
you
didn't
called
really
the-
think they were gonna beat the Thunder.
If they were an outlier, they were down 20 multiple times throughout the playoffs. They could have been outliers and not won the games.
Okay, so if they're outliers, were all the other teams like the Thunder? Answer the question.
The Cavaliers were the closest.
Yeah, they were. They really were.
But you said they're a regular season team.
They are a regular
okay,
season
I don't
team.
want to hear that. Exactly.
Okay,
I don't want to hear
exactly.
nothing from you
See,
because you don't even know how to use your terms properly.
Come on,
That's an outlier game.
Yeah, that's an outlier game. I stand by that
Outlier game
statement.
by the Thunder.
Next thing you know, he's gonna say the Boston Celtics were an outlier champion last year.
Oh yeah, huh? Was that an outlier year for the Boston Celtics?
You know, there was a lot of hurt
Yeah.
teams. You know, that must have been an outlier.
Was that an outlier, Benny? Help
Salty,
us
bro.
understand that.
Salty, bro. That's salty. I don't know why y'all still talking about that, bro. Why y'all still talking?
Because you're using
Are
the
we
term
focusing-
incorrectly.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, are we focused on the Pacers and Thunder, or are we getting so caught up in what outlier games stand for? We talking about the Knicks, Celtics. We're going all over the place, Cavaliers, but we're not staying on top.
Hey
Let's
fans,
stay on topic.
We're not sure. We just want to make sure you're following the podcast and that the terms are being used appropriately. Those of you understand what an outlier means. I don't think Benny uses the term outlier properly.
Sorry, I see his head swelling up. So if you
Yeah,
can't
so-
see us, like his head keeps swelling
So
up.
let's clear that up. So now we go to game 2. Okay.
That was not an outlier game because the Thunder showed up.
Wow,
okay.
they won the game.
So that was not an out. Was that Thunder basketball the
That
entire
was
year?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So what about game 1?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Was Thunder basketball game 1
Yes, sir.
for 44 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What happened to the rest of the minutes? What happened to those
Okay.
4 extra minutes?
Hey, what did I
Okay.
say? It was an outlier. They didn't play that good in the last 4 minutes. They still lost the game. Is the series 1-1? That's all that matters. That's all that matters,
But
right?
respect the
That's
Pacers,
all-
man. Don't
I'm
call
not-
them an outlier like that.
Why was that the logic? Why is that logic not brought up, bro? Bring up that logic. Bring up the logic.
We're bringing up logic, but you're saying they're an outlier as if
No.
the Pacers just luckily walked into the finals.
Yeah. So was that shot by Tyrese Haliburton? Was that an outlier?
No.
Okay, then.
It wasn't an outlier. He hit a good shot.
Because Tyrese Haliburton's been doing that the entire playoffs.
Okay, and I'm acknowledging it. Okay, and proceed with your
But
next
yet
point.
you called the first win an outlier.
Yeah, because it's the OKC Thunder. Who in the East is up to the Thunder outside the Cavaliers? Come on.
What?
I don't know what they talking about, bro.
Bro, you destroy my brain cells, man. I'm not. What?
We
Can
are
we
not
proceed?
saying the
Can
Pacers
we
are dominantly
proceed?
better than the Thunder.
May we
Just give the
proceed?
Pacers damn credit,
I
man.
just did. I'm not discrediting
You
the
keep
Pacers.
saying, "Oh, it was an outlier." Oh, they're good, but it was an outlier. My do-rag's on too tight.
Come on,
I
man.
don't sound like that. I never said that. But I'm just saying, the Pacers are a hell of a squad. They're good. I'm gonna give them their credit. I'm giving them their
Okay,
flowers.
stop right there.
All right,
Don't
Jesus
say anything
Christ, man.
else.
No more
God.
outlier. No more.
All right.
Stop.
We're
Okay.
done.
All right.
So we
we see game 3.
so-
We're gonna talk. I'm gonna bring it up.
So we go back to game 1. You know, Thunder play like Thunder basketball for what? 40 minutes?
46 minutes.
46 minutes. They play Thunder basketball. And those last 2 minutes of the game,
Andrew Nemhard just
Andrew
came alive.
Nemhard just took
Miles
over.
He
Turner.
stepped up. He showed up to the plate.
and you know, and so game 1, and then Tyrese Haliburton, he was struggling that entire game, and he hit the biggest shot, and that's what matters. Pacers win game 1. Game 2, Tyrese Haliburton does the same disappearing act,
I mean,
except in the
Are we
fourth
shocked?
quarter.
Are we shocked?
I'm not shocked.
here's the thing that I've noticed about the Thunder. They are dominant, yes. But when it comes to close quarter games, basket to basket, they struggle.
Yeah,
Let's
you
be
saw
honest.
you saw
they
that.
struggle.
You saw that in the final few minutes of the first game.
you saw it with
you saw they were
Denver
on
as
the
well.
back of they were on the back of their heels.
But their issue is it's very similar to last year, because the Thunder, they were blowing teams out in the regular season, right? If we take a look back at last year's championship, the champion Boston Celtics, they were doing the same thing. What happened? Late last minute executions. It's the same problem that the Thunder have, that Boston has, you know what I mean, had last year.
But
was not closing out the game in the last few minutes.
It's just a mental. It's just
It's mental.
Here's the thing: you guys have 2 superstars. Thunder only have 1 superstar, and the minute he's not getting his free throws or making shots,
Who else is going to step up?
who's going to step up? Yes, their defense will stop
Holmgren
them,
disappeared. Holmgren disappeared
but
game 1.
you need someone to score. You're gonna have
Yeah.
Alex Caruso hit threes. You're gonna have Jalen Williams who misses a wide open dunk. Chet
Now-
Holmgren.
And how consistent is Alex Caruso going to be from deep? Is he going to give me 20 points per game?
No.
That would be an outlier, though, right?
Sure, that's an outlier.
Right, and then he drops back down to earth and gets like 6-7 points.
Sure.
That's an outlier, right, Isaac?
That's an outlier.
Yeah.
What if Ben Simmons just hit 4 threes in one game and had 30 points?
Is that an outlier?
Sure.
Okay. We just got to make sure that our
Just
terms
make
are used
sure.
correctly.
That's
I don't
all.
know why y'all pressed, but okay,
We're not
let's
pressed.
proceed.
We're
We're
not
just
pressed.
making sure
Hey,
you're
you
not.
pressed, bro. You triggered, bro.
We're just making
you triggered
sure you
everything
don't
I say, bro.
spread toxic fandom.
Toxicity, toxic vibes around here. Come on, man.
God,
Come on, man.
I mean,
go ahead.
I'm
Isaac.
shocked with the way that game 1 ended. The fact that I mean, it shows the Pacers do have a chance because if the Thunder, if they execute poorly at any moment in any quarter, you don't want to do that in
But
Indiana.
you just said it. If you said if the Thunder don't execute, you know.
Let me ask you a question: have the Thunder lost? Have they been undefeated this whole playoff series?
What are you talking about? Undefeated the playoff series?
Undefeated in all playoff series.
No, they've lost at least
Okay,
one or
then
two
shut
games.
the hell up.
Okay.
That proves my point. If they're so perfect, they would have gone perfect up until now. So thank you very much, Mr.
Okay,
Outlier.
but the conferences are harder. But okay, the Western Conference is hard. But okay.
Oh, I don't,
Why are you so
You,
pressed,
my
bro?
God.
Oh,
The Eastern
why you so
Conference is
pressed?
much
Why you so
weaker, and you
pressed, bro?
literally just said, "Oh, that's not an outlier." The Eastern Conference is much weaker,
yeah, yeah.
and you just admitted it. Like,
May the best team win, and that was Indiana. Proceed.
Yeah, game 1. I honestly thought the Thunder were going to win the game. You know, the way the Thunder were
Yep.
playing, they were playing Thunder basketball for about almost 3.5 quarters.
Lou Dort hit like 5
Lou
threes.
Dort had a great game, 5 threes, and then Andrew Nemhard came, and then Tyrese Haliburton hit some big shots.
Yeah.
And
that
so-
was
We fast forward to game 2 today. Tyrese Haliburton struggles. Aaron Nesmith hit some big shots.
Miles Turner came to play.
Miles Turner hit some big shots, but the Thunder have balanced scoring throughout.
when everyone shows
when
up.
everybody shows up, and that's the key. Because Chet Holmgren, first game 1, had only 6 points. This game, he had what, 15?
At 15, yeah.
And so, that's my issue with the Thunder is when their stars other than SGA are on, they're on. But when they don't have their when they don't have their stars performing like that, they are off.
I mean, let's look at Indiana. The thing is, they equally take the shots. There's no, yes, Tyrese
It's a
Haliburton
bounce scoring
takes
effect.
the shot, but they equally pass the ball. There's passing, there's shooting, there's cutting. It's not just Tyrese, do everything. Like SGA, foul.
Right. Yep. Right. Yeah, I agree.
And
that's not an outlier.
and what separates the Pacers from the Thunder is the Pacers have two stars, Tyrese and Pascal. You know Pascal's going to score. We know Tyrese, he'll have his off games, but he'll score. SGA, he'll get his 30. Jalen Williams, is he going to be consistent?
Is Chet going to get his 15?
Is Chet going to give me 15?
That's all Chet needs is 15.
Are
And
the
the Thunder
role
win.
players
all
going to
he
step
needs,
up?
but-
17.
What did he have game one? How many points again?
6 points. And can I
So
ask
I'm saying-
you this too? What was the final score?
Which one?
What's the final score today?
123, 107.
123-107. Aaron Wiggins scored 17 points off the bench.
Well, that's not consistent.
But you take that's an outlier, right?
That's a major outlier right there.
And then you take away those 17 points. Who wins the game? Who wins the game?
The Pacers.
Easy.
Yeah, Pacers win that game.
So what does that say about the Thunder? What does that say about the Thunder?
Why y'all look at me like that?
No, what does it say?
What is it, Benny?
No.
Does Aaron Wiggins constantly have 15 to 17 points?
No, man. I mean, at the
What
end of the
is
day-
that?
So-
Use your big boy words. Use your big boy words. Take off your do-rag and use your big boy words.
It tells me that the Thunder are dependent on other players, are need to have their star players to step up,
But
including
you
their
should
bench.
have your star players step up.
But is it consistent though? Is Chet
That's
going to
the
show
thing.
up?
Well, that's
is
the
Jalen
thing.
going to show
Yeah,
up?
it's all matter if they're gonna show
Aaron
up.
Wiggins ever going to give me 17 again? I'm not saying he's bad. He's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
But 17 points
like
today.
Isaiah Joe, too. Like
Isaiah
when
Joe.
When
But
he's hot.
he only played like 4 minutes today. He didn't play that much. or whatever.
So that's what I'm saying. You take away those 17 points off the Thunder bench, I think Pacers would have taken this game. But they had well-balanced scoring throughout this game, and that's why the Thunder were able to pull it off.
Yeah,
That
that's what
is the
they need.
definition of an outlier. Right, Isaac?
Yes, that is an outlier.
We're not talking about outlier games no more, bro. We moved on that.
We're
like
just
10 minutes ago.
giving you
clarifying.
examples.
We're just clarifying the term outlier.
I think they're still triggered by what I said earlier.
We're not triggered. We're making sure
trying to make
that you're
sure
clear
Isaac,
on
you
your
stop
terms.
using the wrong
Isaac
terms.
is triggered. Isaac is triggered. You're not so much. Isaac's always triggered at what I gotta say, bro. This dude always triggered.
It's just how you say it. That's all.
He's triggered, bro.
Isaac, what do you think about games 1 and 2 from the
Game one, very shocking. I think
Yeah.
it kind of shook the Thunder a bit, so they had to dominate as they did in regular season. But I want to see them in a close game. Can they get over that? I think that's the only hurdle they have to get over.
Yeah.
Close game.
Yep, I
because
agree.
We know SGA is going to take the shot, but if SGA is cold, who are you going to give it to?
And you brought up a good point because remember in the first round series against the Nuggets? No,
Grizzlies.
No, not wrong series.
Second
round
round.
series against the Nuggets. Thunder are down. Thunder, I think, are down by 1 point, and Chet Holmgren goes to the free throw line. Oh no, they're up by 1 point, and they go to the free throw line. Chet Holmgren misses both free throws. What happens on the other end?
Aaron Gordon
hits that three. It's the execution. Goes back to what Isaac was saying. Late game execution. How are you going to perform? That's where you really start to see their youth.
The Pacers don't even need to be ahead. They just need to be within closing distance.
Yeah, and that's what the Pacers have been doing. In their series out east, they've made it games. And they've shown that they can come back and win. They're not going to go down without a fight.
Which isn't an outlier.
Yeah, it's not an outlier.
Still triggered.
It's not.
You still triggered.
Anyways, Isaac, what were you going to say about games 1 and 2?
I mean, I was shocked. Of course, the Thunder proved their dominance, but I think Game 3 is going to be the one because the Thunder on the road, Indiana's going to be home, and you know the home teams always play better at home. If Indiana, when did the Thunder come back from a deficit? Can anyone recall when they were down from a deficit this season at all?
Yeah.
Where they come from behind when?
Like against the Memphis Grizzlies when they were down 40.
Oh my God.
Down by what?
They're down by 40 in
Yeah, and then
round
John
one.
Morant got hurt. That's an outlier right there. But it's the Grizzlies, man. This is the finals.
Come on, bro. Come on,
I
bro.
really, I haven't seen it in the postseason from Thunder.
I've seen it from the Pacers
I've seen it
multiple
from the
times.
Thunder and Pacers.
So,
I've seen it
What?
from both.
Where? Give it to us right now. Where?
What are you looking
Where?
at?
I want to know. Besides the Grizzlies,
Come on, man.
Look, Nuggets. We all said it, man. Didn't we all say the Thunder have to be a top team? Did we all say that? Did we
Okay.
say that? Okay. Who did they beat? Obviously, Memphis. We're not worried about that.
they beat Denver,
They beat Denver
Minnesota.
and Minnesota. Enough said. They proved
Okay,
enough
where's
to me.
the close game execution? I'm waiting for that.
What are you talking about? Close game execution? What are you talking
This
about?
is why I'm
Close game
triggering.
What? Did you not see the multiple
Did I
close
not
games?
ask him?
You not see the multiple close games they had against
Give me the
Minnesota?
games. I'm asking for it.
God damn, bro. What was it? Game 5 or game 6 in Minnesota?
I don't remember. I really don't remember.
You're the one who's saying, "Oh, they were in close games. It was a close round."
Game 4 against Minnesota. Game 4 against Minnesota. Game 4 against Minnesota.
Wow, okay, what happened?
Pull it up. Pull up the stats. Pull it up. I don't got the computer tech in front of me, bro. Pull that shit up. Pull it up.
Then, bottom line is, if it comes down to it, close game, final seconds, I'm gonna always take Indiana. I'm not gonna take the
128,
Thunder.
126.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
Exactly.
One out of
Like, let me
one
see.
close game.
You say
Let me
exactly.
see.
Wow.
37 the first quarter, 28. Okay. So that's 66 or no, 65 57. What? So how did they come back?
You said close games. We're not talking about comebacks. We said close games.
Thunder were always up. Thunder were up.
Yeah, same thing. The
That
same
is
problem
the
they
problem.
had.
They
Same
don't
problem they had.
execute.
That's what I'm saying. The same problem they had execution. But obviously they came down in the last few minutes. I don't know what y'all talking to me. I don't know what y'all moaning and groaning about over there, man. You asked for an example.
your
Your
logic
logic
makes
is one
zero
versus the
sense.
Pacers, who were down multiple times
All right.
throughout the regular
You know what?
season and the playoffs.
And all I'm saying, Thunder proved it to me. And you guys said it. Both of y'all have said it. I don't want to hear
We're
it.
talking about close games. Who are you taking? The Thunder or the Pacers? Who are you taking?
Right now?
Yeah.
Well, I still trust Indiana.
Okay.
Okay, then that proves our point.
I'll take
Thank
Indiana
you.
every day of the week.
Indiana.
Okay, I trust Indiana of the week.
Yeah.
But who's the more dominant team?
We're not saying they're.
I'm just asking, who's the more dominant team? The Thunder.
They are. I'm not disagreeing
not
with you. I'm just
agreeing with that part.
Hey, bro, why you so pressed, bro? Why you so
We're not
pressed?
disagreeing with
Hey, can
that
you make
part.
some orange juice for me, bro? You so pressed right now. Come on, man. Damn, you so pressed.
I think you need
just
to take
asked
off
one
that damn
question,
do-rag, man. 'cause
I asked
it's
one
killing up
question.
your brain
This dude's already
cells.
pressed.
That's killing your brain
I
cells,
asked one
man.
question.
We're
pressed,
talking
bro.
about A, B, and C, and you go to Z.
Yeah,
You jump through the whole alphabet and then you get to Z, bro.
that's how I think. It's how my logic works.
That
Oh,
makes
dear
zero
Lord.
sense. Manny, so what do you think about game 1 and 2?
You guys, we don't need to talk about game 1 already. I've already discussed it. Game 2.
Outlier.
Game 2 was an example of the Oklahoma City Thunder at their finest, right? Obviously, SGA.
Okay.
SGA definitely came to play, right? But obviously, it's like we talked about earlier. Can Jalen Williams, can Chet Holmgren, can they show up? That's the thing. It's gonna have to be. They're gonna have to work collectively to win that game.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I trust the Pacers second unit more than I do Pacers co-stars rather than I do the OKC Thunder.
You
Just
had
being honest.
Obi Toppin, just grabbing boards in game 1.
Yeah. I trust Pascal Siakam. TJ McConnell's been hitting some big shots. I trust Obi Toppin.
Nesmith.
Aaron Nesmith. I definitely I trust Andrew Nembhard out there on the Thunder. I trust SGA. But Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren, guys, we know how capable of they are. They're stars. You don't go out and give 6 points, 10 points.
Fair.
On 2 of 9 shooting.
Fair.
3 of 11 shooting. You're stars. There's no reason why you
Fair.
putting up single digits.
Fair.
That Indiana team, I could see they to me are the most consistent team. steady throughout the playoffs. Steady. You know what you're going to get from them every night. I don't know what I'm going to get from Chet Holmgren. I don't know what I'm going to get from Jalen Williams. Alex Caruso's been showing up. Lou Dort's been showing up. But then after that, who else is there? Who else? You saw the bench tonight. If Aaron Wiggins hadn't scored 17 points, they would have lost the game. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. So to me, who do I trust more in the second unit? I trust the Pacers more than I do the Thunder. Just being honest.
Who do you have winning the series? Who do you have winning the series?
Pacers in 6.
Delusional. Who do you have?
I still take the Thunder in 5.
I'm going Thunder in 5.
I still
We're not
I
worried.
still take the Thunder in 5, but my concern with the Thunder is
Late game execution. And bench.
And who's going to help SGA out consistently?
You can have all the worries in the world, but the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to win in 5. They've been the most dominant team all year.
We're not.
So I'm just saying, I'm not worried about that.
We are not saying they are not dominant. We expect them to win.
Yeah.
Bottom line, they're a dominant team. They're going to win. They're going to win the series in 5.
No one's arguing that point.
Well, you clearly are. You said Pacers at 6.
Yeah, I'm taking the Pacers.
Okay. The same dude who said he took the Mavs last year. Okay.
And why do you think so, Isaac? Why do you take the Pacers in 6?
Just the Pacers have they've been on the brink of elimination, losing games, and they always come back.
I don't know what's up with him. It's the fucking.
He's
It's
just
a
a
do-rag.
do-rag.
It's just a do-rag, man.
All right, before I lose my mind tonight.
No.
Hey.
No.
Go ahead, Benny. What do you got to say?
I'm saying Thunder in 5. Like I said, the Thunder are way too good of a team. They're stacked. They're loaded. I agree.
I'm not saying they're not. Here's the thing. Can they execute everything? Can they put
They
their foot
executed
down?
all year. They executed all year.
Okay, that's great.
They
They need
executed
to
all
make
year?
it to the finish line.
Okay, and I think they will.
You think?
I know
You
they
think?
will. I know they will. Thunder in 5. Pacers in 6.
I just get concerned.
Delusional.
I get concerned with close game situations. That's it. For the Thunder, I don't know who's going to show up. I don't.
All right, Pacers in 7. There.
I'm still taking the Thunder in 5. But when it comes down to it, if Chet and Jalen Williams don't have good games, it's the Pacers going to take it. But I still take the Thunder.
Thunder in 5. Nothing else needs to be said.
Bobby, take us home. I'm tired of this guy.
Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Dummies on the Hardwood. This is not an outlier podcast. Go ahead and follow us on Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Please continue to show us all the love. We do appreciate it. We will be dropping episodes every Wednesday. And Benny will, I promise you, be not wearing that do-rag because he's made some incredulous points this episode.
That's a big word. That's a big word.
Yeah, that's an outlier from Benny. Isaac, do you have anything?
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, guys.